doing my makeup, like, is this extra enough yet? I know all my usual subscribers that don't like follow me on Instagram are like, oh my god, it's a trap. I'm like, you're absolutely right. I've been a trap the whole time. Surprisingly. Y'all just weren't paying attention. Anyway. Dark academia. Fuck. Okay. I'm not used to doing this shit with my face in it. Ugh! I'm nervous. Okay. Get your shit together. I'm trying. The hand symbols. Sasuke. Dark academia. I nailed it that time. Fuck. Hello. Oh, this video is a failure. Okay. Dark academia. It's like being a dramatic bitch, but for nerds. Dark academia is basically shorthand for nerds with toxic traits. That's a joke. Please don't dislike this video. I need validation. Actual definition of dark academia is an aesthetic that revolves around classic literature, the pursuit of self-discovery, and a general passion for knowledge and learning. Common themes with this aesthetic include books, poetry, friendship, prep/private schools, classical music, coming of age, existentialism, death and murder, social class, and romance. Writing poetry in notebooks, reading the classics, going to local coffee shops, bookstores, libraries, and museums also feel aesthetic. I keep stopping reading in the middle of the quote that I highlighted. I don't know why I keep doing that. Don't touch my hair. I can't touch my own hair because I just picked it out and everything, even though it looks like a fucking mess. Look at this shit. I dyed my hair purple, and then when I washed my hair after like protesting and shit, the dye washed out and I got left with this shit, green. My hair used to be pink and then it faded to like orangish yellow, and then that was the color I tried to purple over. So now you can see bits of that color along with the green. I look like the love child of Izuku Midoriya and fucking Pain. I'm in the middle of working on 2 different video projects right now that take a lot of time and editing and research. So I wanted to find something small to do that would be topical with everything going on as of late and like relevant, but also just easy for me to manage. But then I was like, I should try my hand at actually putting my face in these videos for once, and made things more difficult for myself. So I had to spend like an hour doing my makeup and shit beforehand and trying to figure out the lighting in my room and making sure my phone didn't die before recording, because it was on 30% when I started, but I found a way to be able to plug my phone up and have it in the same spot. I don't even have a stand for my phone to record with. I'm literally using the speaker from my base and just like sitting it on my bed and everything. I have this chair that I stole from the living room. I'm a mess. Anyway, we've established that I'm a mess, so let's talk more about other stuff. So, like I was saying, as like this side project, I decided to do a video about like dark academia and stuff, right? Because I really enjoy the aesthetic. But the problem with it is that it's overwhelmingly white, and at times the people that dark academia people stand and like get obsessed with are kind of terrible, which is like expected because they were from like 1800s, like early 19th century, stuff like that, right? But at the same time, it is kind of annoying seeing people stand the shit out of Oscar Wilde when we all know he was a racist anti-Semite, kind of like J.K. Rowling. For legal reasons, I'm not saying J.K. Rowling's an anti-Semite, just that she has some anti-Semitic themes in her books and stuff, and it's kind of surprising that we're just now starting to cancel her for being transphobic when she's been like this for a lot longer than some people are figuring out. Or I guess for some people it just now started mattering. Whatever. The point is, we bring in Negroes to dark academia. I said the N-word, I know. The soft N-word. I do want to be able to monetize this video eventually. Though I'm probably already screwed because I'm a Anyway, The point is that in light of recent times and in the spirit of Pride Month, I would like to propose an unofficial list of Black writings, music, and films that would be good dark academia for Black lovers of the aesthetic like myself, or just anyone wanting to gain a better wealth of knowledge about Black literature and Black experience that's underrepresented. This video is just going to be books for now, but if it does well, I'll do another one for movies, and I'm probably going to make a playlist for music that I'll like post about or something on my Instagram or Twitter, so follow me there if you want. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this list. If you bother to read the stuff on this list, I hope you enjoy it. I should say it that way. Oh, I'm gonna make this hell to edit for myself. Check out my Ko-fi page if you want to donate, because I'm trying to raise money for better equipment so I don't have to use my bass speaker to record stuff. I also have a Patreon now with tiers in that I'm still kind of figuring out, but it's safe to check out now. Especially because I feel like I need feedback from Patreon subscribers just to help me get my shit there, because I'm very disorganized up here. Follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. It's all the same, Persephone Rose Anansi, obviously. Just want to preface by saying I haven't read everything on this list. I want to, and I plan to, and I've gotten some of the books on it, but I wasn't really able to get all of these growing up and stuff, so I'm just now starting to read some of them. But that's okay, because we're all in the learning process. Yeah, we're all learning. It's cool. Don't feel bad if you haven't read these, because I haven't either. The list. Number 1 is Their Eyes Were Watching God by ZORA HURSTON. Their Eyes Were Watching God is a classic piece of African American literature. It was published in 1937 by ZORA Neale Hurston, and is a story that touches on a lot of topics like femininity, marriage, gender roles, sex, and sexuality, and growing up through the early 20th century as a Black woman living in the South, which I can kind of relate to as a Black person who used to live in the South. It's hell. Everyone who's like, oh, I want to visit New Orleans and blah, blah, blah. It's not worth it. Louisiana sucks. All my friends in Louisiana watching this video are like, you traitor! The novel explores the main character, Janny Crawford's ripening from a vibrant but voiceless teenage girl into a woman with her finger on the trigger of her own destiny, which is I really like that sentence. This book is actually on my reading list. I'm planning to get it soon, but I'm excited to read it, and I might do a video on it at some point if I read it and find it's worthy of doing a video, or if people ask me to. Their Eyes Were Watching God. Read it, enjoy it, educate yourself. I'm very awkward, I'm sorry. Take my glasses off for a second because I can't see through these. I'm blind, very much so. I literally can't see. I can see enough to navigate the world, but like if you ask me to read a road sign or something, I will have no idea what it says. Continuing on. Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. For those of you who don't know, James Baldwin was a very, very prominent civil rights activist. He, where's my wristband that I was just like, fuck me. Okay. For those of you who don't know, James Baldwin was a prominent gay civil rights activist during the time of figures like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Fun fact, he actually was going to speak at Martin Luther King's March on Washington, but Martin Luther King was a homophobe, and a lot of the people who he worked with were homophobes, and they were already mad at him for working with Bayard Rustin, who was a openly gay man that helped organize the March on Washington. And he had also, in the past, called being gay a mental illness and stuff like that, and James Baldwin was quietly uninvited from the March on Washington, as a speaker, at least. They were like, you don't have to say anything, you're gay, you can scoot off to the side. Which is like a mood. Fun story, but we aren't here to throw stones at popular Black political leaders with dubious morality. This book is about and features the experiences of a bisexual man and his relationship with an Italian bartender named Giorno Giovanna. That's a joke, his name was Giovanni, hence the name Giovanni's Room, but I couldn't help but squeeze a JoJo reference in here somewhere since I'm already dressed like a JoJo character. I have ADHD. I'm so sorry. I really am. God, I have no idea what the edit for this video is even going to look like. The book was actually based partially on experiences that James Baldwin had while living in Paris. Or he moved there after leaving America because, you know, racism and stuff. But he's quoted saying this: "It's more of a study of how it might have been or how I feel it might have been. I mean, for example, some of the people I've met. We all met in a bar and there was a blonde French guy sitting at a table. He brought us drinks, and 2 or 3 days later I saw his face in the paper, and he had been arrested and was later guillotined. That stuck in my mind." Yeah, that's real dark academia, writing a book about your gay friend who got beheaded in France. Jesus. Ugh. Number 3 is Don't Call Us Dead by non-binary author Danez Smith. One of the most relevant black queer voices right now, especially black trans voices, is that of the fantastic Danez Smith and their amazing book of poetry, Don't Call Us Dead, which I just named the title of. I wrote this without expecting my face to be in it because it was a last-minute decision. Whatever. Their poetry focuses on topics such as police brutality and violence against black people, life and death, and their status as an HIV-positive queer person. I feel like if you really want to understand the experience of black trans and black queer people, especially during a time like this, this is one of those books that should be on your reading list. My stomach is growling. I'm hungry. My stomach is like, bitch, we need to eat. I'm like, we're a poor college student. We don't have anything to eat. But yeah, this is another book that's on my personal reading list. I've listened to some of Danez Smith's poetry on YouTube and stuff like that, and they're very, very talented. They're really talented. I fully encourage you to read this book. I'll put the link to some of their live readings on YouTube below so you can kind of get a feel for their style, but it's definitely worth checking out. Number 4 is Push by an author so badass she only needs one first name, Sapphire. It's really cool. I want to be that cool. I don't need a last name, so I have 5 middle names. Anyway, I already said one of my punchlines, but I wrote it and left it in the script, so I just threw myself off. Bad words. Focus. I can't. At all. Those of you who have seen the movie Precious, directed by Lee Daniels and adapted for the screen by Geoffrey Fletcher, may find this title familiar. The movie and the book are both huge critical successes for their dark tellings of a black coming-of-age story about a girl escaping abuse and exploring themes of motherhood, love, abuse, and more. The voices of black women in media are rarely allowed to tell these kinds of stories. Black people in general in media often get pushed into certain tropes. So stories like this that are very raw and powerful are really important, and I think this is definitely one of those books that is essential to read to really understanding the black experience. Really good. There's also a sequel. I can't remember the name of it, but it's about her son after she dies. Yeah, it's not a very happy story at times. It gets there a lot. Number 5 is The Invisible Man by Langston Hughes. I think this story may be one of the few black novels that really is accepted as like an essential reading for everyone. It's definitely one of the ones I've heard more about than some of the others. Some of the other like classic black novels. It's written by Langston Hughes, and the story follows a coming-of-age tale that frames a well-trodden story with a black experience, saturating the story in racial themes and feelings that people still feel to this day. The story is about growing up as a black person, and specifically the weird, complicated feelings of inferiority that come with growing up in a white supremacist world, in a world where you're seen as less because of your skin. This is another one that's on my personal reading list that I really want to read when I get the chance to. Too bad I'm poor right now and I can't buy any more books because I already bought like 15 books on Apple Books, and now I have no food in my house. This book is definitely one of those ones my English teachers should have made me read in like middle school and shit, instead of bullshit writings like Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. Stuff that made me more aware of how much God hates me than like anything about our actual world or society. The next story on the list is Things Fall Apart by CHINUA ACHEBE. The story in this book is not specifically a Black American one, but it is a story that highlights an important part of Black history in general, and also just kind of evokes these weird feelings in me because it's about a culture and a history that I never got to experience, that I was separated from by virtue of being a Black person born in America, which comes with a whole lot of historical baggage. At this point, I really don't think I should have to educate you on that. Oh shit. This is a really interesting read, a really good book. It's a very intimate and emotional story that details what life was like in Africa for Africans before colonialism and before white people got there and kind of ruined everything. I hate that I can never get my thoughts together. I wrote this whole script, and instead of following it, I keep putting information that I wrote in one place in weird places, then I don't know what to say. The last book on the list is my book. Yes, I have a book. I have multiple books, at least 3 books, but this book is the important one because it's the new one. I'm good at words. Yeah, I bet you weren't expecting my book to be the last one, but it is. This book is a collection of poems I've been writing for the last 1.5 years, 2 years, that are mostly about my weird feelings about being trans and like the way that that affects the world around me, I guess. And it's all told in very weird, descriptive language. I'm like, how do I describe my own writing without sounding like a pretentious dick? But yeah, the name of my book is Your Son is Dead, obviously, and the reason why I chose that name was because of this like weird experience that a lot of trans people have, where like when we come out to our family and friends, they say stuff like, oh, it feels like I've lost a son or a brother or a sister. What it feels like like the person that you used to be has died. I feel like I've lost someone. And that always was a trope that irritated me because like I'm not dead. You know, I'm alive. I've been alive this whole time. And I'm still the same person. Kind of, because I have these weird existential feelings about who I am as a person and my identity. Because like, I feel like every 6 months I die a little bit. Like, the person I was in that time period kind of dies, is gone. And I feel like all of my experiences make me into a new person every now and then. So in a weird way, I feel like that person I was before I came out was dead, or is dead. And like even that person I was, there's like a truck outside, damn. Wait, like the person I was 6 months ago is no longer here, no longer exists. And every now and then I kind of, all my experiences kind of get meshed together and like I form a whole different persona, not a whole different persona, but like I just have a whole different life now, if that makes sense. Like the person I was before I moved to LA is not who I am now. You know what I mean? That might be weird. I might not be making a lot of sense. But enough dissecting my weird personal neuroses and my strange brain. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is gonna be hell to edit, but that's okay. I'm planning on making a dark academia playlist on Spotify, like specifically for Black and POC artists and singers and such. So follow me on Twitter and Tumblr and stuff to see when that becomes a thing. Check out my Ko-fi page and Patreon and stuff like that, because those exist now. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Wear a mask or I'm gonna throw hands. Real nigga shit. Oh wait.